Don't judge a book by its cover. Hey everyone, Templar74 here with another episode of Poke Talk, and today's episode of Poke Talk is going to be my review of the latest episode of Pokemon Pocket Monsters 2019, Episode 31, Phoebus and the Prism Scale. And I gotta be honest with you guys, this episode, when it was announced, wasn't really expecting a whole lot out of this episode, and really after watching this episode, really there wasn't a whole lot to this episode. It was a nice episode. It was actually a surprise that this would be a Koharyu-focused episode, and I know that Koharyu-focused episodes for me just haven't been really that great, that special for me, at least in my opinion, because Koharyu has been kind of a character in my opinion. But this episode did something really nice and something that I've been waiting this entire series to happen, and that is a Koharyu-focused episode that helps it kind of changes her character a little bit, I guess is the way to phrase it, because, you know, she's kind of a colder, distant character, but this episode made her, you know, more approachable, made you more sympathetic towards her character. Her character has some depth here. It was a character build-up episode for Koharyu, which is nice. It's something that I've been wanting ever since this series began, but we'll talk about that soon enough. So, at risk of further rambling though, let's move on to the actual episode. So the episode begins with Koharyu, and she actually gets a phone call from her brother, Sota, and Sota is basically calling her and is like, hey, sorry, and it kind of cuts out, and we learned that her brother Sota has brought Koharyu to visit his friend Nami, who is pretty much being bullied because her Pokemon isn't as cute, or the kids are teasing her about it, and it makes Sota kind of upset about it. You know, he cares for his friend. Nami is kind of getting bullied here along with her Pokemon, and Sota wants to see if Koharyu can help her. And Koharyu does help her, and Koharyu does it in a pretty big way this episode, so I gotta give her props for that. So anyway, we see Sota ask Go and Ash as well if they will help take Nami and her Pokemon along with her sister to Sakuragi Institute there, and they end up doing that. And we see Nami's Phoebus just work on being better, you know, it's being a better swimmer, getting more confident with itself. It trains with Nami because they learned in Slateport City that there is the water-type Pokemon friendship contest, and Nami wants to compete with her Pokemon. So Koharyu, Go, and Ash help her bond with Phoebus and train with them, and ultimately they end up going to the Hoenn region for this contest, the water-type Pokemon friendship contest, and the contest, surprise, gets interrupted by Team Rocket. Team Rocket, of course, causes trouble. Ash and Go try to battle Team Rocket. It's not exactly going well for them. And that's when Phoebus evolves into Milotic. And once it evolves into Milotic, Jessie, of course, is bound determined that they're going to catch that. And Milotic basically finishes off Team Rocket, sends them flying, much to the pleasure of Nami, and they end up winning the contest. And these two have a really good bonding moment. Really happy ending. But yeah, essentially that was the episode. Like I said, not a whole lot to this episode. It was a simple episode. There wasn't really a whole lot to expect from the episode title and summary when it first came out. But it was a surprise that this was a Koharyu-focused episode. And finally, Pocket Monsters has done something that I've been wanting them to do since day one. Give us a Koharyu development episode that helps build her character and change her character impression a little bit, at least for me, because her character has been kind of dry and just really an character. This episode kind of helped me lighten up to her character, and that's what I've been wanting ever since this series had started. So props to that. This episode was a good episode in that respect. It gets a thumbs up for me on that, and it's definitely a step in the right direction as far as Koharyu's character, in my opinion. But as always, and that said, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. It was an okay episode. There wasn't a whole lot to this episode, but it helped build Koharyu's character up, so you gotta give it props for that. And with that said, everybody, and as always, in the comments section down below, let me know what your guys' thoughts were about this week's episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was just there? What are your thoughts? Just let me know in the comments section down below, because as always, I enjoy hearing from you. All right, everyone, as always, Templar74 signing off. Have a great day, everybody, and I'll talk to you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.